Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. Tuesday, and Wanderley is here with us. That's good. Good thing. Good thing. Nobody left me alone here because last week I was by myself here. If not the guys here to help me with questions, with comments. But anyway, good to have you all here. It's Tuesday. I know for our friends in the US, we are back to the standard time of our show. You already lost 1 hour. Hey, Bruce, how are you, my friend? So today's topic is chapter 11, items 8 to 11, 10, 11. Let's see how we can get there. And it's a wonderful topic, full of things to talk, full of things to discuss, which is the law of love and selfishness. So there are a lot of comments insane here. But anyway, before I see people are joining us, let's do our initial prayer. So let's calm down. Let's lift up our mind, our hearts, asking for the superior spirits to enlighten ourselves in order to transmit the correct message. Also guide our brothers and sisters who are with depression, anxiety, or they are sick. So be it. Amen. Okay, so the law of love. And I like the way we have this explained here in the chapter 11, because it shows the not hierarchy, but how is the evolution until we reach the sentiment of love. Because at the moment we were created, remember, we were created simple and ignorant. Ignorant in terms of knowledge. So if you are with zero knowledge, it means we didn't have ability to judge, oh, this is right or this is wrong. We will act as instinct. Okay? And also when we are getting more knowledge, we will change a little bit this instinct to sensations. Okay? Time pass by, we will develop these sensations through a sentiment. And the most delicate of the sentiment, it is love. We simplify here in 2 seconds. Something happens perhaps in years, centuries, millions, billions, whatever, We just say because this takes time. And this is amazing because in my mind, it makes sense. It's like when you go to school, we cannot give like a equation, a difficult equation for someone who is just first year of the school. They don't know what to do. How we can say, oh, you must love, for someone who doesn't know what is love, or they didn't feel being loved? So we need to go through these experiences in order to evolve, in order to acquire these moral values and move on. So we need that, which, by the way, goes against of the man, the fall of the man, because the theory of the fall of the man is the man was perfect, they sinned, and because this they fall. So this go against that theory as well. Okay, so once we learn how to love, you still have like different phases, like today we used to say the closest love we have is a love from a mom to their son, their daughter. So we need to have that sentiment against everyone, not just towards our family or towards our friends or toward our daughter and son, our siblings. You see, we need to transform this love, which is easy. I know we have many conflicts in the family, but it's easy to say to your brother, I love you. It's easy to say to your mom, oh, I love you. But it's easy to say to someone, just open your door and say to the first person who passes on the street, say, hey, I love you. We need to reach that point. Okay, Wanderley, with this introduction.
No, Steve, I agree with everything that you said. But as you said, also, it's quite easy to love someone that looked after us, like our mom, for 9 months in their wound, who gave to us food and clothing and stuff like this. But I'm going to go even further. It's easy to say to someone that you love that person, but can you act in fact with love towards that person? Because we have this habit nowadays, oh, I love everyone, love is good. But can you really love someone when that person does something against you? Or when that person disagree with you? When I'm talking about disagreements, I'm not talking about something quite small. I'm talking about something huge. Because in life, sometimes we have small things, but sometimes we have big things, which perhaps once we face this, what the first thing we do, we say, okay, I care about you, but stay away from me. Love is not that. Love is when you give everything that you have, even if that person believes in something different than you, even if that person goes against what you think is the most valuable thing, because you know that that person, it's in their own time. That's why when Jesus was on earth, he didn't have. I mean, of course, we have some parts in the Bible, like when Jesus goes to the temple, where he goes and he fights against those who were selling at the church. But there we have to understand that even in that time that Jesus raised his voice a little bit, he wasn't really going against that people, because he knew that they are in that level. But what did he do? He tried to teach something to them. He tried to give to them a different point of view, even though he knew that they weren't ready. So Jesus was the one who was able to love us in general, because he gave everything he could have given to us, even knowing that we weren't ready for it. That's why I always say that the Jesus teachings, it's something that wasn't for the apostles, that wasn't for the people who are maybe here in the gospel according to Spiritism, to Lazarus, to Emmanuel, who is giving a message here to us. It's to people maybe in 1,000 years, maybe in 2,000 years, because his teachings are very, very deep. But as we have here a message at the beginning, in the end of this part here, it says that once we look back to ourselves when we were behind, be sure about something. We are 100 times better than we were. So the love, as Stevan said, takes time. And we cannot simply say to ourselves, oh, I'm not good because I'm not able to love like Jesus did. I'm not good enough because I'm not able to do what the apostles they did, or people who were maybe in our time, not in our time, but who lived closer to us, like Oscar Schindler, for example, like an Irish priest who saved hundreds of thousands of lives of British soldiers. So these people in history, they gave everything to those, even if they didn't know that. But each one of us, we are in a different stage. So one key aspect here to understand love is not what we say, it's not the beautiful words, it's reincarnation. Mm-hmm. Because once you understand the process of reincarnation, you know that maybe you had a problem. Let's say I had a problem with Stevan, and we had a serious problems in the previous life. So what life does? He said, okay, Wanderley, you're not able to love Stevan because from your own will, I'm going to prepare a situation. What the word will do, the good spirits. Okay, now Steven's gonna be your son. Once you see that little baby, you won't be able to really don't love. Of course, we have parents who perhaps they hurt their children, unfortunately. But most of the parents, they're gonna be able to love that kid. And maybe the next life, during that life, and even in a next life, they're going to start to be able to tune a little bit that love. So reincarnation is the key aspect here for us to understand love, because without reincarnation, there is no chance for us to reach that supreme love which this message talks about, the supreme love which Jesus spoke in the Bible. That's why you need time, we need persistence, because love, as they say here in the message, is like if you're going to go to the gym, you need to go and build your muscles. If you want to make them bigger, love is the same. You need each day, you need to be aware of each situation that life is giving to you and try to practice love as much as you can. Maybe you're not able to do like Stevan said, open the door and say, I love you. But once you open that door, you're not going to hurt that person anymore. Maybe you're going to say, good morning, how can I help you? Because before, instead of opening and saying good morning, people, they used to go open the door and hurt the others. And maybe in a few years' time, you're going to be able to open the door and give to that person a good word, or maybe to give some material means that that person needs, perhaps a piece of bread in some countries. So we need time to develop it. And reincarnation here, I believe, is the key aspect. What do you think, Stevan?
Perfect. Well said. That's exactly what it is. And also, Bruce gave a comment to here saying, I believe that when we reach the end of this human earthly life, there is only one thing that will matter: how much we have loved.
That's it.
And you're absolutely correct, Bruce. But the problem is how much we have loved, not just our close friends, how much we have loved the others, let's say the third party. Yeah. That's the problem, because again, like Wanderley said and I said, it's easy to love. It's easy to say, Wanderley, I love you. He's my friend. But, and towards, perhaps you are working and someone's trying to get your place, how are you going to say I love you to that person?
Or if your boss is trying to destroy your life in the company, you know?
Exactly. How are you going to say, hey, oh, you screw me up, I love you? You know? So that's the point. And I know we will, unfortunately, our sentiments are too far to do it. But if you finish this life here, and at least you do not carry with you that sentiment of revenge, the sentiment of selfishness, sentiment of pride, sentiment of vengeance, we did our job. Let's use the example. Your boss is trying to kill your path in your career in the company. And at the end, you need to leave the company because he succeeded his endeavor and everything, but you don't carry any bad feelings towards that person. Happy days. You cannot say, I love you. But if you cannot carry that feeling, it is a good step. It is difficult. What I'm saying here is very difficult to do. I don't know. Perhaps this boss is doing a big favor for you. You just find another job with more pay, more money, more benefits, more all the things. So he said, wow, I didn't know we have all this. Oh, I need to ring him and say, hey, thank you. You did the best thing for me. But how to do it? When he didn't do, when you are unemployed for 5 years, you don't know how to support your family. So that's the problem. Let's see what Robbie says to us. We need to reflect that we are responsible for our thoughts. They are one if the few things we are in control of. Exactly, Robbie. We are responsible for our own thoughts. But again, Wanderley and I already said here, forgiving is not forget.
Yeah.
You will never forget. But when we remember that situation, we don't need to bring that emotion back. You won't forget. Full stop. You won't forget. But you don't need to bring that heavy feelings, you don't need to do it. And how to do it? What Robbie said. We are in control of our thoughts. When these thoughts come up to our mind, we needed to do something in order to thinking about something different. And what you have to do. I know Wanderley goes to the gym. He goes there, does push-ups, a lot of these things, he forgets everything, But you guys, what do? You go to park, listen to music, hang out with friends. It's up to you. You need to know yourself. You know your limits. And then we go back what Robbie said here. In order to love, you need to know yourself. You need to know your limits. You need to know, I go up to here because beyond that point, I am entering a unknown world. I am not responsible for my acts. I am not responsible for my thoughts. So it's like drinking. If you drink 1 or 2 glasses, you are still okay, fine. But I know people with just 1 glass, that person lose control. So they cannot drink. So we are going back to put the fingers pointing out to ourselves because it's us. We are the ones responsible for our happiness or for our unhappiness. It's our choice. You want to see the cup half full or half empty? It's up to you.
Steven, just before we go, on the comment of Bruce, it's quite nice because even here in the Gospel according to Spiritism, I think it's item 9 here, we have this, where the spirits of, who is saying Fenelon, he says quite clear what Rob said, what Bruce said to us. On more highly evolved words, it's the mutual love that harmonizes and guides the advance of the spirits who inhabited them. And in your planet destined for impending progress due to the social transformation, we will see its inhabitants practice its sublime law in the reflection of divinity. So what he's saying to us, if you want to go to that places, love is the key. Love is the, is the coin,
But, the password.
Here,
love is the password.
Yeah, it's the password, But here we are in this time where the social transformation of Earth, and that with Kardec, the spirit of Arago, I think it's Arago, the correct pronunciation. He says the same. The social transformations that Earth is going through at the moment, these social transformations are necessary to us in order to appreciate love and feel love even more. Because as we said so many times here on our speech, we say, okay, I'm going to be asking God for patience. So if you are doing this, do not expect God to give you an island with coconut water, with fish, and no one to come to you and say, hey, you are late. Where is the Excel, or where is the deadline? Whatever. Your boss might ask you, like Stevan knows, because Stevan just came here 2 minutes before we start. So Steve is always busy. He has 2 wonderful daughters who demand a lot of time of him. So he knows what I'm talking about. He's always busy. So if you're asking for patience, do not expect an easy life. It's the same for love. Once you are in the spiritual world, we say, I would like to experience love. I would like to practice the law of love, because I know that, because here, once you are in the spiritual world, you have more knowledge. Your brain, spiritual brain, your soul, your spirit is quite open, that you know that for you, in order to progress, you must learn how to love. So then you say, okay, I want to practice love. Okay, you want to practice love, Wanderley? Good. I'm going to give you some nice situations. So do not expect to come to us and say, oh, I'm going to find a beautiful girlfriend who's going to give everything to me. I'm going to find wonderful parents, nice brothers and sisters. Oh, I'm practicing love. Forget it. They're going to give you a difficult relationship. They're going to give you a difficult relationship at work. They're going to give you perhaps difficult family. They're going to give you situations where you are able to put in practice your will of learn how to love. So everything which is difficult, like Stevan was saying about the gym, yes, I like to go into the gym because I like to practice to feel healthy. But if you want to grow our spiritual muscle, we need practice. Like they say at the gym, no pain, no gain. For the spiritual world, it's the same, guys. So if you don't really face difficult situations, you're not going to be able how to learn how to love. You see Paul of Tarsus. We always talk about Paul of Tarsus here. I know, guys, sorry about this, but we love Paul. Peter, for example, also, they wanted to practice love, but how they were able to practice love? Even if they were able to meet Jesus in person, Peter, not Paul, because Paul didn't meet Jesus in person. He met Maria, his mother, Mary, his mother, and the apostles. But what they had in their life, difficult situations. Peter used to be, put in jail several times in Rome when Nero was alive, by Nero and the Roman Empire. Paul was stoned so many times. And in these situations, they didn't say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to get you. You hurt me today. Watch me for me tomorrow. No, what they did, they said, it's okay, brother. If that's what you're able to give to me, what you're able to give to me is a stone in my head, that's okay. I still going to care about you. If I'm not able to love you yet, I'm going to pray for you. So what they are trying to say to us, if you're not able to perhaps to love in full, try to don't, as Stevan said, Try to don't act in vengeance. If I'm not able to say to my boss, "Oh, my loved boss, I love you so much," instead of saying this, once you are there, quiet. Do not send powerful thoughts against your boss. Do not say that names that we always say. I don't know, talking about his mom, for example. Do not go that path. Try to give to that person good thoughts. When that person comes to you, try to be nice. Is it difficult? Oh, yes. I know. Because sometimes here, me and Steven, once we're
If it
off,
wasn't difficult, you will not be here.
that's it. Sometimes we have our arguments here, which is okay, because we disagree in so many things. Thank God we agree more than disagree. But that's it. It's not because I disagree with Steven that I'm gonna go and try to do something against him. Okay, I disagree, but it's easy because Steven is my friend. It's the same with someone in the traffic. It's not because that person does not allow me to go through that I'm gonna be fighting with that person. It's easy to be said, much harder to be done. So, be careful. What I'm trying to say is, be careful what you ask. Because if you ask it too much to experience love 100%, you will be able to, you're going to have the chance. But the question is, are we able to really practice that, to take that chance and say, I want to do it? Because most of us, we say, oh, I want to love, I want to practice love, I want to practice charity. But sometimes once we have something, we do not share, even with close people that we have. Imagine with strangers. But we come here in the Spirit Center and talk about charity. We talk about love. We talk about forgiveness. So take that chance. But like Robbie said, we have to be responsible for our thoughts. I agree, but also by our action and our words, which is even more difficult, I believe.
Yeah, and this comes here. There is at the end of item 8, Lazarus, the spirit who dictate this paragraph says, all the riches of the future depend on the present labor employed, which will earn much more than earthly goods, for it will offer glorious elevation.
Yeah.
Bruce says here, quote by St. Paul, I no longer live, but Christ lives in me.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the let's say the goal.
Yeah, that's the high stage. Yeah.
Exactly. This is the goal. Like Paul, that's just Paul. He was stoned. He was robbed. He was walking miles and miles. Like while people, oh, let's take the boat here and go to this way. And he said, oh, how many cities, how many villages I have if I walk from here to there? So if I have this way and I can teach Christ's teachings on this way, I will pick that way. And which way most of the times we choose the shortest way. Oh, we love shortcuts. I love shortcuts. I love shortcut. As a analyst here, I try to find the best way. Oh no, let's do here. That Paul, no. He didn't care if from going to one village to another village, if he needs to transpose rivers, goes to higher mountains. He doesn't care. That's why Christ lives in me. So I hope one day, and I know one day, we will say, now Christ lives in me. So, let's, for example, with these virtual meetings, now we are used to have the virtual meetings. It's convenient because we are at home. We don't need to travel to somewhere. We don't need to go to their place. Great, perfect. The spirit centers now, who are allowed to have presential meetings, they are having difficulties. Why? Because the workers, oh, we did the job while I am home. I want to stay home. So I seen a lot of people complaining that many of the workers, they don't want to return to
So yeah,
presential meetings because they want still making virtual meetings. They are wrong. No, they are not wrong. But unfortunately, when we talk about giving a healing to someone, most of the people, they want to go to the spirit center, sit in the chair, see the healer in front of them. They don't believe, okay, I will pray for you and we will send good vibrations. So it all depends how is convenient. We need to stop to make this convenient and let's do the job. And let me see here one more. I like this word here. They say this seed will develop and grow together with morality and intelligence, repressed by selfishness. So we are the point in which we don't know. When we say here, hey, you need to love, Wanderley, you need to love yourself first. What's the difference between I'm loving myself from selfishness? Is a tiny difference here. And I this is personal opinion. We still are tricky to know the boundaries between self-love and selfishness. We're still fighting with these two guys here in order to know which one prevails the order. You know?
Steven, I like your comments because we have to understand that I agree with you that we are like we have a timeline here which divides. And what do we see nowadays, for example, on social media? People saying to you, "Oh, you have to be nice for yourself. You have to be good for yourself. You have to treat yourself well. Go and buy that bottle of champagne. Treat yourself nice. Buy that nice dress. Buy that nice shoes." So the world that we live in nowadays, it's an invitation to us to only look to ourselves. I understand that perhaps we had for some centuries, especially in Europe, throughout Catholic religion. Again, we are not judging here, guys. Please believe me. But some people they deny themselves because of the church, because perhaps they understood Jesus' words wrongly. You know, because Jesus never said, okay, you must suffer. No, he didn't say that. You know, but we understood that we have to, give everything to the others. Once he said, go and help the poor in the street, but he didn't really mention give everything to them. Of course, he used some words like this, but perhaps we should have tried to use our mind, our knowledge, like Stevan said, to try to understand properly. What I'm trying to say is like this. Nowadays, we come from this side, and now we come to this extreme here, where everything's for me, and I don't care about the others. And we are living this time nowadays. And I agree with Stevan. If we have to be careful, because otherwise, like Emmanuel said to us here, that what holds Earth to going in the growing in hierarchy of the worlds, it's selfishness. So we have to understand that as long as we keep selfish, we still keeping ourselves in the most selfishness way, we're not going to progress. We're not going to be able to see love and peace on the streets. we're not going to be able to agree with each other. Because once I think that my point of view is the correct one, once I think everything's for me, I don't care about the other most of the time. Yes, we have to look after ourselves. Of course we do. But as Stevan said, be careful. Because we are losing the hand here. We are losing the time instead of progressing ourselves, especially in the time that we are now, as we talk about the planetary transition. Whoever is really having selfishness deep in their heart, they're not going to be able to really to keep progressing on Earth. So Earth is changing because people are changing. So most of the people nowadays, they are less selfishness than before. So we have to try to keep in this progress. And like Emmanuel said here to us, it's the negation of charity and consequently the greatest obstacle of human happiness. So selfishness is the negation of charity, is the complete opposite, and is the greatest obstacle to the human happiness. So once we get this, that if I'm being selfishness, there is no way of me to progressing, because there is no outside. Like we saw that with the coronavirus, people before they used to say, "Oh, I can go on the streets and close the door of my car. I can go and live in a safe place and close my doors." With the COVID, there is no way. So if in rich countries, they don't want to help the poor countries in order to get their vaccine, we're not going to be able to be safe 100%. So there is no chance of us just thinking about ourselves anymore. We have to be helping the others. We have to leave this selfishness behind. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck. We're going to still keep, in the same way, in the same circle. That's why Emmanuel, and by the way, this Emmanuel here is the same Emmanuel of Chico Xavier. He's the one who gives the message to us here in the Gospel according to Spiritism. So we have to be able to leave that behind, even though it's not easy.
And I just remember, because I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I read a comment that the Elon Musk, the guy from Tesla, he said he made a comment towards the Secretary of United Nations. Because the Secretary of United Nations says, in order to stop with the starvation in the world, they need like $6 billion. And he said to him, prove to me that 6 billion finish the starvation in the world. If you prove you are right, I will give you the money. He has over 30 billion, so 6 billion for him is nothing. It's like, you go, Wanderley, give me 6 years there. But the point is, we have someone here. By the way, guys, I'm not judging who's right, who's wrong here. I'm just saying we reach a point, if stopping the starvation is a real intention, or there are more selfishness because the starvation creates a lot of things behind it, and we will make people donating and create, or this starvation, it is a business. We don't know here. So this kind of selfishness, it's what we're talking about here. We have someone saying, 6 billion, we'll finish that. Okay, there's no problem anymore. Here's the money. I made some wrong calculation here. It's not 6, it's 10. Or no, we don't go. I don't know. So this is to prove to us, this exercise I said here is to prove to us how selfishness We, human beings, we are. Because instead of stopping something, we are trying to give, oh no, it's not 6, it's 7 now. Oh, I needed this. Oh, I forgot that country. Oh, I have some barriers to face here, and perhaps we need to. No, we need to stop this. We need to act as joint forces. We need to act towards the benefit, not just my personal benefit, to someone benefit. While we were discussing this, I think stopping the starvation in the world is far away. This is just an example. Happened like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. I don't know what's the end of the story. I don't know if the guy already proved it. I don't know. I just read an article and this caught my attention. And I thought with myself, now, let's see. It comes with that story. Oh, I am not happy yet. Remember that story from Divaldo Wanderley? I am not happy yet, but if I have a job, I will be happy. And then you got a job. Are you happy? Not really, but I will be very happy if I have a car now. Then you got a car. Are you happy? Well, I will be happy now if I have someone to share my life. I'm feeling alone. I need someone to love me. Then you get someone to love you. Are you happy? Well, I have a job, I have a car, but I don't have where to live. I'm not quite happy yet because I do not have where to live. Now you got a house. Are you happy now? Well, now I have a house, I have a car, I have a job, I have someone to love me, but I need kids. Kids bring happiness to my family. Kids brings joy. Kids bring all this, and then you have kids. Are you happy? So you never say, no, I am happy now. And this was provoked by why? Selfishness. Because it's always me.
Yeah, Steve, I think once we start to learn a little bit of how to share certain things in life, as you said, we're going to be able to progress a little bit more. But that's the thing. If we don't do that by our own free will, life will give to us situations where we're going to be forced, on doing that. So such situations could be a difficult situation, like we have the COVID recently, we still are having, perhaps that could be, I hope not, but we saw that in history, some difficult situation between 2 or 3 countries, where they may have a difficult time, to do not say a war. That's something which I don't hope, because in this time, in these difficult times, humanity starts to find ways of sharing, because they understand, as we said before, that if I don't help that person, I'm not damaging that person, I'm damaging myself also. If I don't help that person, I'm going to be in trouble. So I have to be nice. But of course, instead of doing that by force, why not try to observe, to watch the surroundings and say, okay, how much do I have today? I have 10, just for example. Okay, do I need 10? No, I need 6. What should I do with that for? Okay, I want to be thinking about the future. I have to save for my future. Some people, they say, okay, but if I take that 4 and save 2 for my future, how about if I share 2 with the others? I'm not giving everything I have, but at least I'm trying to help someone who has much less than I have. Like the Gospel according to Spiritism, I think the message of St. Louis, He says to us that the leftovers of a rich man, a rich person, would be able to, to end the hungry of some the poor. Of course, he's talking about his time, when he was living in France. So he's saying basically, whatever we have left, we could, like you said, we have Steven give this example now. We could support the world, but do we really want doing that? That's the main question. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Because sometimes we think, oh, I want to finish the selfish in the world. Do you really want? Because it's so nice to say that in speeches on Tuesdays, Thursdays, or Sundays. But once you have the chance to be less selfishness, do you take that chance? Do you really try to do your best? Because most of us, we don't. Most of us, what we do, we say, I have a next, especially us in the Spiritist movement, I have a next incarnation.
The shortcut. We take the shortcut.
We take the shortcut, or we say, I have tomorrow, I have, another day to do it. I recommend everyone to be, I'm going to even add the link here. There is a beautiful history from Dostoevsky, a Russian poet, who talks about Martin, the shoemaker. Once he finds situations where he could prove that he really wants to be charitable, where he really wants to leave his selfishness behind. And once he really wants to do it, in this history, in this poem, I believe, they gave to God, Jesus in this case, gave to him the opportunities, and he took the opportunity. So he understood that, okay, I want to do it, I'm having the opportunity, now I'm going to do it. Most of us, we say, I want to do it, I have the opportunity, but not today, tomorrow. Today I'm busy.
I need rest.
Yeah, I need rest. I'm a bit tired today, So I'm going to add this link here. It's in English, it's a beautiful history from Dostoevsky, beautiful story from Dostoevsky. But it's what we really want, the spirits will give to us the opportunity. Then we're going to have to try our best. Go ahead, Steve. I have some noise here. Just a second, guys.
No, we don't hear anything. Yeah, but that's exactly what Wanderley said. They needed help now. We needed to act now. It's not tomorrow or 2 hours later. When someone asking for help, they need the help at that moment. And what we do have a portion of people they help straight away. We do those, hang on, I'll be back, hang on. And the others, I can't. Tomorrow I can, but today I can't. Unfortunately, today I am busy, I can't. So we needed to understand how to balance this, because it's valid. Perhaps that person that day, they really can't. We just need to find out the balance between this selfishness from this self-love. Let's see what Rob is saying here. We have all we need for our progression. The question is whether we take advantage of the opportunity provided. Perfectly. That's it, Robbie. We have everything. We have everything. I don't know. There is a say we used to tell. I will try to explain the meaning. Perhaps you may have this in English, but I don't know. Like when you want to teach someone to do something, you are saying this, you need to teach how to fish. You need to give the string and you need to give the line and give this to that person, and that person will go and fish. Instead, you go fish and bring the fish to them.
Yeah.
Let's say differently here. You want to make a bread. You have to, you say to that person, oh, here we have yeast, here we have the eggs, here we have the flour, and here we have the water or the milk. Mix up everything, put in the oven, and then you have a bread. Instead of you go, you bake the bread and give the bread already made. So what that person learned, they learned how to do the bread? No, they didn't, because you gave the bread already done. So it's us. We have all the ingredients to bake a cake. But what we are doing with these ingredients? And it's our choice. Then we go back. What I think was Bruce. Bruce, he said, no, it was Robbie. We are responsible for our thoughts. I would say we are responsible for our acts.
For everything that we do, we produce. We are responsible for everything that we produce.
Yes, everything. So, and when things go wrong, what are you gonna do? Oh, God doesn't love me.
Yeah.
Oh, because I have that guy in my work, he's jealous of me, of my success. Oh, I have this guy here, my neighbor, he hates me. So we're starting to find, or we start to blame others instead to say, hey, I use those ingredients wrongly. I totally screw up. I couldn't mix. I didn't mix well. I was in a rush. I put in the oven, and at the end, the result was nothing. But we blame, oh, the oven was not the right temperature. The quality of the egg was poor. The flour, wow, that flour is out of date. But we never blame, say, hey, it's my responsibility. It's me here. I did wrong. I was lazy to mix that up correctly. I didn't inspect if the oven was on the right temperature. I didn't wait the yeast make the dough grow. It's you. And that's what we're doing. We pick a lot of people to blame. So, any more thing? Any more?
No, it says enough, you know. But listen, maybe here, just like what Emmanuel says here in his message, when he talks, he makes, he remembers Pilatus or Pilate. When the Pilate, he knew that Jesus was a good man, he was a righteous man. But even though he allowed the others, to crucify him, what he's saying, basically what Stevan is saying to us here, okay? We know, that things at the end of the day, it's our responsibility. We could, a lot of times, interfere and do something good. But what is even worse of doing a mistake, because perhaps you make a mistake trying to correct, to do the correct thing. But once you just wash your hands and say, I don't care, it's not up to me. So be careful, because if you do like this, if you start to act in this selfish way, where you start to don't care, it's not my problem, what does that have to do with me? We are putting ourselves in a difficult position, because you know that what's correct and wrong in this case, but even though you don't care. So I'd say Pilate, he did that. He knew, But even he said, okay, that's not up to me, so do whatever you want. So take your life, take the responsibility of your life. Do not just cross your arms and say, I don't care. There is nothing related here to me. Everything is related to us. And once you think about selfishness, it comes back even stronger, because everything, as Stevan said, it's a consequence of us. Our world, it's surrounded by our choices, by our thoughts, by our actions. Of course, there are those who perhaps wants to hurt us, but that's not our problem. It's their problem. There are those who don't care about anything, but it's up to them. They can do whatever they want. But what we're gonna be doing? That's the key aspect that we have to remember about Pilate here.
Great. And with that, I was saying here to us, it is our responsibility, our duty. We will reap what we sow. This is the law.
That's it.
That's it, my friends. That's it. Stop. Try to seek someone to blame and try to look more close to you. No, or even though don't put yourselves in a bad situation. Screw up. That's it. Okay, let's do it. Let's do again differently. Because don't forget, definition of madness is doing the same thing at the same time and always expecting different results.
Albert Einstein.
This is the definition of madness. So if you screw up, do again, but differently. If you screw up, do again, differently. Until you get it. In other words, always try. Always. Okay. Wanderley, can you do the final prayer?
Sure. Okay, guys. I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. Let's take a deep breath. Let's be thankful for the time that we have here among friends and the good spirits. While we have the chance to enlighten our minds, at the same time trying to share this knowledge, this wonderful knowledge brought by the spirits. Let's be thankful also for all the goodness, the good things that we have in life, but also let's be thankful for the challenge, because in fact they are the ones who perhaps will teach us the most precious lessons in life. Let's not forget that Jesus never said to us that life would be easy, but he said that to us that if we follow his path, he would make our burden light. So let's grasp his teachings each day a bit more in order to us to become better people, better spirits, better people in society to one and another. Let's not forget that the time that we have here is limited. Let's not forget that here is the chance that we all asked before in order to progress. Life is not a game. We are not here by chance. But at the same time, we are here to help one another. Thank God for the times that will challenge us. Thank God for everything that makes us challenge ourselves, asking ourselves, am I doing the correct thing? Because once we start to doubt ourselves, is the time when the good spirits, they bring to us a different way of thinking. So for those who are in despair, who are in need, let's not lose our hope and our faith. And let's remember that Jesus said to us that he would be with us until the end of times, as he is right now. Thank God, and so be it.
Amen. Okay, so thank you. Now in 15 minutes, we will have our guys from SSL, Spiritist Society of London, the Guilherme Diaz and Rafael Caldas talking with the Time to Talk. So keep online and watch them. And also, oh, Leah, you are here, my friend. Good to have you here. You didn't say anything, but thank you. Okay. Guys, have a nice day. I'll see you on Thursday. And stay tuned. Okay. Bye-bye.
Hi, guys.